The forced draft is coming to America. First, I want to give all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops, the great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to you, fellow brothers, pushing his word in truth and sincerity. Shbachanak. Coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. This is going to be a walk and talk lesson, so just bear with me. Let me get across the street. Right, so this is inspired by a couple of videos. Initially, right when I woke up, this was pretty much trending all over YouTube. I seen Apostle Elder Tahar. He did a video. The first video I seen was from DW News, which is a German sponsored media, and they were speaking to Ukraine, how the Ukrainians are using forceful tactics, which we've been knowing this for a year, really. They've been trying to get people to fight that war. The men of Ukraine are fleeing, so they've been using like forceful tactics, you know, to grab men up and throw them into the army, throw them into the military, as well as there's rumors of, you know, them putting women in the military as well. So they're discussing on a panel. I didn't watch the whole video. I watched them. It was like 5 minutes. You know, they're discussing on a panel if that is the right thing to do. If forced conscription, which is draft, is that right for Ukraine to do that? Okay, and we know that the American government, they're ramping up. You know, they're getting ready to draft. This is why they just passed a bill to make all individuals 18 to 26 automatically register for the I forget what it's called, something service, selective service, if I'm not mistaken, selective service. I remember I had to register for that, you know, when I was 18. They sent something to the mail. But we weren't really in a time of chaos and war back then. Okay, now we're in the time of chaos and war. So the same thing that's going on in the Ukraine, where you know, they have to force individuals to fight. A lot of them fled. Okay, and they've opened up the age requirements, right? Because right now they say 18 to 26 here in America, but as a lot of people die, they're going to open up those age requirements, meaning it's going to go up to 36, 40, you know, maybe even 50, while people are dropping dead. And this is just nothing but prophecy. Let me I have some articles here. I'm not going to really read too much on the articles, more so the headlines of the articles pretty much tell you what's going on. And this is pertaining to Ukraine, but the war is stirring up. We're in a time of war, as it says in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. There's a time and season for everything. Okay, so we're in a time of war. This is why the U.S. passed that bill. Okay, and now the next thing that's coming is the chaos, in order to justify, you know, them sending U.S. Citizens and also migrants, immigrants, you know, disabled and you women too. So this is this NPR. This is January 31st, 2024. Ukraine needs more soldiers in war with Russia, but some don't want to fight. See, so you have those Ukrainian men. They don't want to fight. They already know that it's futile. Those Russians, they're battle tested. The Mossad put a different spirit on those Russians, man. Them Eastern Europeans in general, but especially those Russians. I was watching this documentary on this Russian boxer. I believe his name was Slav, which, if I'm not mistaken, the word Slav goes back to slave. I mean, he could have been a Jake, but I don't know. You know, them Russians, the Mossad put a different spirit on him, and he was a boxer. He was a top boxer during the Soviet era, but he ended up dropping dead, you know, because he gave into alcohol, you know, went blind, you know, dropped dead. But he was like a national hero back then. But the thing is, he was beating everybody. He was knocking them out, and he didn't look like he didn't know how to fight either. And those be the ones that you got to watch out for. Okay, this is from the New York Times. Okay, Ukraine military recruiters use harsh tactics to fill ranks. This was last year, December 15th, 2023. Ukraine launches military charm offensive as conscription flags. That's April 23rd, 2024. This is 2 days ago. How Ukraine's conscription squads are forcing men to fight in the war. See? So you have a lot of individuals in Ukraine, because they see that the writing is on the wall. They're not going to win. And ethnically, the Ukrainians are actually Russians. They're the same people. Okay. And that's going to come, that's going to even be on a higher level here in America, about men that don't want to fight. Because this is a city that dwelleth without care. This is a relatively peaceful, even though it's violent, you know, it's America's filled with violence. Let me get you a scripture. America's filled with nothing but violence. Just the so-called Juneteenth out here in Oakland, you had three people got shot and killed. That's why, you know, we don't go around where especially where you Negroes are at. Okay, we don't go around. We not out at events where you so-called Negroes are at, where you so-called Hispanics are at. Mainly you Negroes. Okay, we not going to clubs and bars where you Jakes are at. We not going to block parties and especially a Juneteenth, 10th, however the hell you say it, a celebration. Okay, why? Because it's going to be filled with nothing but violence. Because the two-thirds of our people are filled with nothing but violence. Okay, and it shows in their actions and their behaviors. And violence is going to get prepared. Well, since you Jakes like violence, a lot of you Jakes are going to get sent out to that war. You're going to be fleeing. Esau going to be coming grabbing you up. Or he going to throw you. He going to throw you into the ranks. Okay, Operation Human Shield. You're going to be out there in the front line. Okay, since you niggas like shooting, little Day and Pookie, and you know, you going and all you migrants coming up from Central and South America, you're gonna get thrown in there. But you're gonna have a lot of individuals that's gonna be trying to flee America. That's why that wall's going up to keep your ass inside. So let me hit this scripture. Jeremiah 51. Let me start up just a little bit. I mean, that whole chapter. Jeremiah 51:27. Set up a standard in the land. Blow the trumpet among the nations. Prepare the nations against her. And this is what, unbeknownst to the American people, this is what Russia, China, Iran, President Putin just met with North Korea. The president of North Korea, Kim Jong-un, to basically uh, uh, bring come together in a military alliance. Okay, that just happened like 2 days ago. So you have Russia gathering, being a guard unto these other nations, because the ICBMs that North Korea have, when you go into the history, they got those reactors and all that equipment from Russia. So Russia's been there funding these smaller nations, and this is what the scriptures talk about, how they will be a guard unto these smaller nations, which doesn't allow the West to come in and seize. The Russians are a lot more fair. They're a lot more fair in their way that they deal with the other nations. That's why the other nations are, they're more open to doing deals with Russia. Unlike America, which if you do a deal with America, get ready to be backstabbed. Okay? Call together against her the kingdoms of Ararat, Mini, Eskenaz. Point a captain against her, cause the horses to come up as rough caterpillars. And what is a caterpillar? It's an animal of a decay, and that's basically what these ICBMs are going to do to America. Okay, because when they're shot over here, it's gonna completely destroy the whole land. Okay. Verse 28. It says, Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes. Who are the Medes? All right, the Medes are speaking about the Russians now, because they're now in that land. The ancient Medes, they were pushed out. The ancient Medes, that's Japhet. They're in the islands, the so-called Polynesians, the Micronesians, the Hawaiians, the Samoans, right? Which they really don't have a dog in this fight. They're not really, they're not really important in biblical prophecy like that. The main nations that are important in biblical prophecy is Jacob and Esau. All right, and then you have other nations that are going to be, like Ishmael and Elam, that are going to participate. Ham is going to participate in this war too. Okay. Let me continue. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, okay, which is Russia, the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, okay, and all the land of his dominion, all right, and the land shall tremble and sorrow. What land is that speaking about? Speaking about America. Babylon the Great. It's going to tremble and it's going to sorrow. All right, because when you are in direct confrontation, with the Russians and their allies, it's going to get so bad that the what's it called? NATO's going to break up. The EU is going to turn against America. You can read that also in Obadiah. Okay, Revelation 17 speaks about the beast. Okay, which are those European nations. The beast shall hate the whore and shall burn her with fire. All right, because they have a nuclear arsenal as well, and they're going to shoot that nuclear arsenal, okay, on Babylon. So Esau he's not looking good, and the people here in America that are so, in comfort, they're getting ready to be in a mournful state. They're getting ready to be in a sorrowful state. Why? Because their sons and some of their daughters too, but mainly their sons are going to get sent off to that war. They're going to be forced, just like they're taking violent measures against those Ukrainian men, forcing them into military. With a couple of weeks training, just put them on the front line. Because pretty much Ukraine, they're done. The war is pretty much it's lost. They don't have enough men. The men, they were born to fight. Just as we're reading, we're gonna continue reading down here. Okay, it's gonna tell you how the Babylonian, these American men, they're gonna be fleeing the country. They're gonna be hiding. They're gonna be on social media complaining and crying and screaming. Okay, it's gonna show how America is. They're gonna be as well said. The scripture say how they're gonna be as women. And I had a dream a couple months back about that. How the American men, they were afraid to fight, and then like I was looking at the American military, and they were very fearful and unsure. And then another scene came to me looking at the Russian military, and they was ready for action. All right, they're ready to they're ready to light some shit up. Like, not too many words. That was maybe like 3-4 months ago. Okay. Where am I? Yep. And the land shall tremble and sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant. So, hey, when in the time of war, what else happens? You got a lot of grape. Lots of grape is going to come back on a whole nother level. And this is also going into Isaiah 32. Isaiah 32:9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Right? There's going to be if the men, we're going to continue to read, if the men are going to be afraid, right? How much more these women? Okay? They gonna want to be housewives back in that time. It's gonna be a lot of, and then not only are men going to be sent off to this war, okay, there's also going to be war here in America as well. There's going to be a complete collapse, okay, of society. This is all coming, all right. Yep. Let me read that again. And the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitant. Because the ultimate, the moral of the story, or at the end, at the last chapter, right? The last chapter, if you will, the last page on the book, is America destroyed. Okay, that's what all this is leading up into. Why do you think they just passed the bill with automatic conscription, meaning you're automatically enrolled? All right, this young generation, they're automatically enrolled. Okay, and they're gonna extend that number. They're gonna call first these National Guards, or what do they call them? The reserve. They're gonna call the reserves up. It's gonna be in stages. They're gonna call the reserves up. They're going to declare a state of emergency. Before that, there's going to be a false flag. All right, it's going to be a false flag. They're going to blame Russia or Iran, and you gotta prepare for war, just like they did in 9/11. Which you had Esau that willingly went into that war because they galvanized the American people to go fight the bad guys, and then it was found out that it was all a sham. So now the American people, they don't even want to be in a war anymore. They're tired of war. Okay, but the Most High is not tired, okay, of war. He is a man of war. Okay, Exodus, Exodus 15:3. Okay, Yahweh is his name. Yahweh is a man of war. Okay. Verse 30. The mighty men, right? You mighty military age men. You combat veterans. You young men. You bodybuilders. Everybody now is a bodybuilder, a fitness influencer. The women, they wear the skin tight clothes. They get online and sell their programs. The men, same thing. They have no shirt on, showing their pecs, their shoulders. You know, all you scoffers, you niggas are getting ready to, you Jake scoffers. I was watching a video from the elder Manata Zakba, and it was a nigga with his shirt off. You know, you could tell he lift weights and shit, scoffing at scoffing at the Hebrew Israelites. Well, a nigga like that, right? That you into lifting weights, right? You into lifting weights. You into, bodybuilding and, look like you a man of war. You gonna get drafted. They gonna come him a guy like that up and watch the bitch. Watch the bitch come out. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. All right. Let's look at this word forborne. Bear with me. It's not showing up. Okay, right there. Chadal. To stop, cease, desist, forego, cease, to be, leave off, leave on. Yeah, you're gonna have men that's gonna be. What do they call them? Where they abandon their post. You're gonna have real bitch-made men. Cause these men are nothing but metro and homosexual anyway. They're so used to comforts. They're so used to Netflix and chill and going to the game. Eating. They're soy boys basically. These soy boys they gonna get thrown out there. Esau don't care. He's putting bodies. He's putting bodies out there because this also is part of the elite's agenda to depopulate a major part of the world's population through these wars. Okay, but the thing is, this is all the will of Yahweh Bashar Shai. Okay, because the Lord, He's going. This is the extinction level event. All right, the War of Armageddon. This is the War of Armageddon. Okay, and the elect are going to be saved from the elect are not going to get drafted. Certain brothers, their sacrifice will be, Esau going to try to draft them up, and they're not going to go. They're going to get thrown in one of them detention centers, and that's okay. Okay, that's part. The scriptures talking about that in Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things that thou shalt suffer, for the devil shall cast some of you into prison 10 days, that ye may be tried. Right? Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give you a crown of life. That's going to be part of it too. He's going to threaten you with, going to prison, taking all your goods because you don't want to go into this war, and that's okay. That could be part of your sacrifice. All right, but the rest of these individuals, which their life is in this world, they're gonna be fleeing, crying, and ultimately they're gonna get hemmed up and get thrown out there. All right, get thrown out there into these wars, which is gonna make these women here very desperate. You got tens of thousands of men dropping dead weekly. All right, the scriptures speak about that in Isaiah, how they're gonna be mourning. You got to go to Isaiah the 3rd chapter at the end. Then when you go to Isaiah 4, it tells you why those women are gonna take hold of one man, a man of the Lord. These women are gonna be real desperate. They're gonna come down. They're gonna bow down before you. Okay. See, and this is going to be a reality, but the people can't see it now because their reality is warped by Esau Edom. But during a time where people believe that their life is on the line, they're going to do some. It's going to definitely change. Okay. In a time of war, the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their hold. So we know what the word forborne means. Okay. Basically, they don't want to go. Their might has failed. Right? What about that mighty America? The mighty America, we could take down the world. America's military is the best military in the world. That's a goddamn lie. Okay? The American military is in shambles. They can't even meet their recruitment, their yearly recruitment. Okay? They got trans in their military. How can you fight a war and you have trans in your ranks? That doesn't make any sense. And women. Okay? Their might has failed. They became as women. Okay, they have turned her dwelling places, her bars. I'm sorry, they have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. Right. So the men are going to actually be as women. When there's a chaos, when there's a chaotic situation, oh, like that Juneteenth shooting, right? When you watch the video, right, the brother sent it, the elder brother, Elder Gaz sent it on the on the thread. What do you hear? You hear women screaming, "Oh my God! Oh my God!" So that's how the men are going to be when Esau finally is like, hey, because again, before he actually makes that mandatory and come grabs you up, he's going to create a false flag situation. There's going to be an attack on the grid, whether it be a cyber attack, whether it be a number of different events, a cyber attack, a kinetic attack, whatever, like I said, a number of different events, actual missile. I seen it had to be a vision of a missile coming to America and killing a whole bunch of Jakes, but it wasn't a nuclear missile. All right, so could missiles be shot off here in America? Okay, or could it be like an inside attack through the different proxies? All right, the borders are wide open. They've been warning you of, like I said, it's all these events are all set up. They've been warning you of terroristic attacks. Oh shit, they can have they can make it seem like it was one of the so-called black Hebrew Israelites that did it. So that could turn into a demonization campaign as well. So it's going to be very chaotic. All right, and the forced draft is coming. That this is a reality that people, they don't like to think of. They think, well, let me just not think about it. Nah, you're going to see, everybody's going to be confronted with prophecy. Okay, so I'm gonna close there until next time. Shalom to the elect.